Welcome back to Melon and Madam. To all my Crown Royals, let's roll out the red carpet to tonight's topic, child. These topics, I'm telling you, I come up with them last minute. It's usually something that just made me laugh or something that is just like ridiculous. Mostly sayings, because sayings are ridiculous as hell. Like, you're dating my leftovers. At this point, we're all leftovers. Sorry, we aren't. It's okay. Well, wait, let me take that back. I'm married and I'm faithfully married. I mean, that matters. It matters. So I'm no longer leftovers. I'm more like the main course, you like you really went to like what's a good restaurant? Like not my favorite, like KFC. Like what's a good restaurant that's expensive? Like not Red Lobster. Um Morton's. Something like that. Like I'm kind of like a main dish that's like a little bit more on the higher end, but I'm just saying. So at this point, everybody is pretty much leftover. So I really don't understand, but I am going to touch on some topics that is going to or some parts of this topic that's going to be funny as hell. And Bambi will be here in just a minute. She is just now getting off work. I'm telling you, this inflation is killing everybody. We are all working like 17 jobs. Doesn't even matter if you make six figures anymore. Um, you need to work like 17 jobs. I'm just saying. So let me see. I don't like to toast without her, but let's double toast. Maybe we'll toast right now and then we'll toast when she gets here at the end. So I'm drinking water though, because I'm still like getting over COVID. Um, did y'all know I had COVID? I think I posted it in the community, but I'm still getting over COVID, trying to do better. And y'all, I could put people in timeout. How did they give me that button? Anywho, trying to get better. And so I am drinking water so that I did not become dehydrated and start choking and can't breathe and stuff. So no liquor for me. I don't really know what to do with myself. I'm tripping. I don't even drink alcohol like that anymore. But let's toast. So we are going to toast to dating with intention, dating with a purpose, dating somebody who is has meaning in your life, right? So with dating, you can't really determine if things are going to work out or where it's going to go to, but at least date people that at the end of that dating, maybe you could be friends or something you could learn from that person. Basically, stop dating people, and I say this with the utmost humility, that have sheets for curtains. I would just like to thank my mom for never making us have sheets for curtains. Thank you. But that's what we're going to toast to tonight. Dating with intention and making sure you're dating people that are of your caliber. Stop just dating just because somebody has money or they got their butt done or um, he has a nice car. Like that's high school stuff. And I really feel like people have been reduced to starting to have the behaviors of things that like we did in high school. And it really doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't because families are suffering. Um, People are suffering in general. There's a lot of broken hearts, a lot of bitter people, and things like that. But we kind of have to take responsibility for how we date as well, and the people that we befriend, people we link up with. Because if you know for sure that it's somebody that's not even in the ballpark of something that you would want, like what do you want to come out of that? I don't really understand. It's like making cereal for breakfast and you put it on a table and you turn around and want it to be like sausage, bacon, eggs, pancakes with hash browns, orange juice, biscuits, a little bit of catfish, fried chicken, a little bit of watermelon, and a mimosa. It's not what you put on the table. It's not going to appear. And stop dating people thinking that they're going to change. Um, Here's my caveat to that though. Everybody should change. We should get better. We should grow into wanting more, but define wanting more, right? So I just said my favorite restaurant is KFC. Somebody else's, it might be Morton's, and that might be something that they want for the rest of their life. If you are dating somebody and like that's not what they want, they don't desire to have that type of lifestyle, it's not going to work because you're going to want well, it more than likely won't work, right? What I mean by that is if that's what you want all the time and you're not willing to compromise and do some lower scale things that the other person likes um, with acting like you want to be there, it's not going to work because that person is going to feel undervalued. And then you're going to feel like they don't want to do enough, but that's your enough, not their enough. And it's really unfair to date somebody with the expectation that they'll do certain things because that's what you want, but that's not really what they want. And it has nothing to do with the amount of money that you make either, because there are very rich people like Weezer on Still Magnolias. She was the one who had the most money, but she was wearing like overalls, her gardening clothes. She was good where she was. That's happiness for some people. So date people that have the same moral compass, the same goals and ambition. Um, and I don't mean it identical. I mean like in the same ballpark. Date that type of person. Then you'll stop having such heartbreak. And everything don't have to be heartbreak either. You can actually date and break up and it not be heartbreak. I've only had my heart broken 2 or 3 times. 2 or 3 times. The other ones, it was just like, oh, we dated, it didn't work out. Let's be friends. Maybe because I didn't give my soul away either. I didn't sleep with them. I mean, but if you can sleep with them and it doesn't bother you, I don't know. That's between you and Jesus. I don't know what to tell you. Um, really? Sorry, guys, I'm reading the comment. Let me check something. Let me check something, guys. Hold on 1 second. Because I'm being told that this is coming out wrong and I can't have that. So give me just one. It's better now. Okay. And I forgot what I was saying. Um, because that just happened. But um also just stop giving away your soul. Uh you wondering why you can't dating is dating. Stop dating and you guys, I'm gonna probably bite my lip because it's number one of the things that I do as like the shaking your leg, biting your lip, I bite my lip. Um, but also from COVID, my skin is really dry. Um, and my lips are peeling today and I've been biting them all day and they hurt. So be really careful. It's still out there. I knew that I was probably going to get it because since this all started, I really don't go out much. I know my pictures look like I do a lot of things. I don't. Uh, and most of it you'll notice is in my house or like when I went to Vegas, I wasn't out. I was in the house. Not even like to eat. I was in the house and I went out to one event, but I drove separate, things like that. I'm still very careful, but with the recent passings in the family, it required me to be around other people at the mortuary, people dropping by and things like that. And so I got it. And I will say that me and my cousin got it, but hers was a lot worse than mine, but I am vaccinated. She is not. But that's not typical for me. Normally, when I get sick, I get very sick. So be careful out there. Still do all of the things that you're supposed to, because the results now are a little bit different. It's not like the first time I had it, where I felt like it was bad, and I had it for like 6 weeks. This time I could um, not breathe as well. It changed my skin. It even changed my hair. So my sister did my hair today, and it changed my hair, and my ends got split, even in a protective style, and that's weird. So she put me on vitamins and things like that. So be very careful. But let's get to this topic, because Bambi is a little bit late and I need to wrap up because I can't talk that long. So please participate in the comments. That would really help me. But when we talk about leftovers, the reason why this came up is because there was a meme. And then there was an African movie. So what happened was the person was like, sorry guys, and your whole body hurts. The person started dating somebody, a girl, of course. Girls are so catty. And I'm saying girls for a reason, because women are starting to act like girls. But the girl was dating somebody's ex, obviously, like in their 30s. And she was telling the girl right away, when she started dating the dude, she starts telling the girl, oh, this is my man now, and blah, 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 and answering his phone and doing things like that. And here's what that's very much a sign for me. It's a telltale sign. Stop showing your weak ass hands, okay? Because that's what that shows. Any woman that is confident, you don't need to do things like that. You don't need to reach out to an ex. You don't need to answer a phone. You don't need to make it known that's your man. You don't need to do any of those things. Even as a wife, I didn't do those things at the beginning. I did for fun though. Used to be like, oh, my husband, oh, my husband. But it was really just me being silly. You don't need to do all of those things. So girl does all of those things, right? What ends up happening? The ninja cheats. Duh. Like, that's what's gonna happen, okay? Calm down. So he cheats. What do you think happens? Said X circles back around, like, you have my leftovers, you have my trash. My mama always taught me to let people play with the toys I don't want no more, blah, blah, blah. Here's where the funny part was for me. It was that if that's the case, unless you've never dated before, as an adult, not as a kid, even though I fell in love in the second grade, and I was in love for a very long time with that man. I loved him. Anyway, unless that has happened, then you too, you're leftovers. So calm the hell down, okay? You don't need to flex. You really don't, because it's not a real flex anyway. Yeah, Bambi. It's not a real flex anyway. And if that is somebody that, I think I should have did it. If that's somebody that you're dating now, just date that person and let it be what it is. Unless that new woman is disrespectful to you or anything like that, you don't need to say anything. And that's where those sayings come in, don't talk to me, talk to your man, or why are you talking to me? Talk to your ex, or why are you talking to me? Talk to your baby daddy. That's where those type of things come in, because the reality is, what are you talking to that woman for? I don't see the point. Unless somebody is doing something right in front of your face. Now, for me, y'all know I'm transparent. My husband, we used to go out to dinner. There were some people, like waitresses and things, that would acknowledge him and wouldn't acknowledge me, or the people, on social media that only like the pictures if the man is in it, but if he has his wife in it or his baby mama or girlfriend, they don't like those pictures and things like that. All it did was make me pay attention to those females. I still didn't say anything. I don't do subliminals. I don't do any of that. I don't have time for any of that. I really don't. Let me take that back. We all have time. I choose not to use my time for that. I just don't. I'm not going back and forth with no bitch. I'm not coming off my throne. I'm not doing any of that, especially as a wife. It just doesn't make any sense to me because you can do, I can't stop anything. I can't stop, nobody can stop anybody from doing anything, saying anything, behaving any type of way. None of that. You can't stop it. So, what is the point of you getting your blood pressure up, you going back and forth with somebody, you shooting jabs at somebody? Um, what is the point? All that shows is that you are insecure and you playing your hand. Um, in almost every relationship, I've been cheated on, and I've said that a million times before. Um, it's normal. Um, do it hurt my feelings? I'm a little different. So, I will tell you that. Let me tell you what happened. So in high school, I was dating this guy. His name was Usama. The girl that apparently he was messing with decided to call me and tell me that she was pregnant. I said, okay. I'll never forget. I was in my mama's room, sitting on the bed, and the phone rang, and I answered it. I'm just calling to tell you that I'm pregnant by your man. My man. I said, okay. Well, you better get ready to start buying diapers. There ain't nothing coming out of my vagina. I'm not finna buy nothing. I'm not buying no diapers. Well, you better get used to your life being ruined. That's you. That is your business. That don't have nothing to do with me. And I laughed in her face and she hung up. Be ready for the things that you reach out for. That's all I'm saying. Don't embarrass yourself because that's all you did was embarrass yourself. And I told everybody because it was funny to me because you called me trying to get me upset and now you done hung up because you upset. I don't know what to tell you. Stop wasting your time. Don't be reaching out to people trying to upset people. Would you like if it was you? Or when it's your turn, do
Because
you
there's
like
a
it?
50% chance that sometimes ain't nobody gonna even pay attention to shit you're saying. Let's just get
Hello. Hello.
50% chance that sometimes people are not paying attention to shit you're saying. Some women are gonna look at you like, okay, well, when is our baby coming?
Bambi, you know me. Like, I don't care.
Our
Do we
baby
talk about that type of stuff when we not on the phone? Do I complain about anything like that?
coming?
Do I complain about being insecure in this space? Like, have you ever heard me say anything?
Not at all.
I'm just saying.
There's a
People
saying
try to
out there, guys, that every action doesn't need a reaction. Okay,
none,
certain females,
none.
and this is crazy that we kind of. I'm sorry, I'm late in here, you guys. I had just got off work, but I'm like, where is my computer? I couldn't find everything. But hey, guys, Bambi is here still. I got my drink.
Amen.
But this topic was something for the books because when she sent me this topic, oh, I couldn't wait.
What
When I
happened? What?
when I say I couldn't wait because I feel like I've been dealing with this for some time now. And I have people who feel the exact same way. I came in the midst of Madam saying what she was saying and speaking her piece and speaking her truth. But let me tell you something, honey. I've dealt with some women who was just like that. Oh yeah, well I'm calling you to let you know that me and so or me and Dante, I'm just saying a name.
Right,
Me
right.
and Dante is out here and me and Dante finna have a little, a little Ashley soon. We finna have a Dante Jr. Listen here, ma'am. Let me know when my child comes along because regardless of what you're talking about, that does not I don't care about that, okay? Most people feel like every action does need a reaction. You don't have to. You do not have to be that person that's going to be stuck up. You do not have to be that person that is going to want, like, have to say something back to the next chick because the first chick wanted to say something. Now you want to say something to the next chick because this chick doesn't say something. I'm not going to sit up here and waste my time. Not at all, because it's pointless. I feel like it's most definitely pointless. It's pointless.
Especially, I feel like it's pointless when it's not a husband, number one, because they're not yours. They're
Two.
they're they're loaned. And then if it's your spouse, you can't have more than one spouse. So you can have 32 girlfriends, but you cannot have more than one spouse. So why are you competing with or arguing with somebody that can't have your title until if your title is over? And if so be it that happens, what are you supposed like? What are you gonna do? Jump off a cliff
Huh. Fight
because
yourself.
you calling? It's other reasons why you might want to do, but that won't be the reason.
Not at all.
So you think if you reach out to somebody and tell them that they got your leftovers while you talking to a leftover,
Is it gonna make you feel better? Is it putting money in your pocket? Please let me know that.
that's what I want to know. Does it
Is
make
it
like why do you think that they do it? Does it make them feel better or what are they excuse me, what are they doing it for?
I started to think that most women are doing this because it makes them feel better. Misery love company. And most women are doing this shit because they're miserable and
But
they
you
want,
got them.
but you got them. Exactly. You got this man. Why are you worried about what I'm over here doing? Why are you worried about if I'm calling this man 25-8? I've had a woman tell me before, I don't even know you. I don't have a problem with you. But now that I've seen you in person, I feel some type of way because I didn't know you look like that.
I've
Ma'am,
had that.
what
I
are
was
you
like, what was I supposed to look like? Like, I'm on YouTube now. What this is no filter. What am I supposed to do? This is what I look like. What did you think I look like? Or why do you care what I look like? I'm not gonna date you. So why do you care what I look like? Even if I had all the imperfections, that wouldn't change what I had with this man, that most of my exes are my friends.
Thank
So
you.
what did you want to happen? I don't understand.
Most women don't want, I don't know. Most women are starting to be, and I'm not, listen, I think I can say it like this. I was that type of woman. I was
Really?
insecure. I wasn't insecure. Don't get me wrong. I have my own insecurities. I was that type of woman. My friends sometimes call me petty. I can be the
Oh, you
queen
did
of
it to me,
petty.
Petty.
I can be the queen of petty. Most definitely. If you know me, you know. I could be the queen of petty. But I was that type of woman that'd be like, oh well, I need you not to call this woman no more because we together, we this, we that, knowing damn well me and this person are only seeing each other when we want to see each other.
You
But
wouldn't
because
even be with the person.
huh?
You wouldn't even be with the person that you would do that.
We'll be with each like at that time, we'll be with each other, but it'll be on some sneaky linking type thing.
Mm.
Like she over here, what you gonna do? I'm hurting your feelings. And then I sat there and one day I sat there and I was just telling myself, like, it's really not getting me nowhere. Like, it's really not getting me anywhere. I'm not doing nothing but hurting this woman. Me, I am very big on women empowerment. It just depends on the circumstance. I'll say that. Because not everybody needs that woman empowerment vibe from you. Um,
Not
but
everybody is a woman.
thank you. Everybody walks around here claiming that they're women, but I'm looking at some little girls, okay? Don't get me wrong.
That's
But
the word I use, girls.
legals.
Mhm.
So I used to just be like, yeah, she over here. She don't need you to call her phone no more. I got her now. And I did not notice until I took the time to take accountability into my, like, upon myself to say, like, I am actually being so miserable. I am miserable Because I'm sitting here with you and I'm basically telling this woman who actually gives a fuck about you that all these, like, that the grass is green and the sky is red and, shit like that. And I had to literally look at it like, okay, maybe that wasn't okay. Maybe I shouldn't be petty. Maybe I shouldn't even be like that. Now, the females that are literally still out here doing it, when I
If you
actually,
were 35 and you doing that type of thing,
you need to be sitting down somewhere with your grandkids, because I'm pretty sure your first child or whenever you decided to settle down, your child is out of age to where you should be trying to, come on now.
or at that point, you've been through a real relationship, you've been through some things, you know what it feels like to feel hurt. You shouldn't, a lot of that the hurt that I have experienced with the broken heart, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
I wouldn't.
Because that shit hurts. It hurts bad. So I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So I would rather nothing you. That's easier for me to nothing you than to not like you or something like that. And I'm a fighter. I don't want to talk. We could square up. We could meet at the park. I could beat your ass. That I'm fine with. But
that I'm fine with.
That would make me feel better. But just to go back and forth arguing or texting, I'm not doing that.
Even after
I don't
that,
do nothing out of that.
Take your hand as a woman and say, hey, we got this out the way. Let's be women and communicate about this. You want to go? You want to go eat, bitch? Because now I'm tired.
Right.
I'm missing the guy. I'm missing, my wig is off my forehead. Let's go eat, bitch. You ready?
Right. That's the era I'm from. You fight so you get the frustration out, and then you move forward. And sometimes you end up being the best of friends. And fighting is like the last resort. Like, you really on my nerves. I feel like you need your ass whooped. I'm gonna have to do this before we can move forward. Like, but after 35, I still desire to fight? Almost all the time. Do I think that it's a good idea? No. Do I want to? No. Am I going to? Not unless I have to, but just to purposely get in my car to go do it or something like that. I'm not going to do it. I have way too much to lose in real life, that it would literally have to be self-defense for me to do it. But do I want to? Of course, because I feel like enough people didn't get their ass whooped growing up by their parents or that person, that cousin that should have whooped that cousin's ass because they doing too much, and they wouldn't be acting like this. But I don't understand the whole leftovers thing. Everybody is a leftovers because everybody to this point have dated and been with somebody. Most people are parents. Once you become a parent, you a grandfathered and leftover. Like, how is that something that you even feel the need to call somebody? What importance does that have? I really want to know that. What importance does that have that you need to tell somebody that that's what they are? Why are you so consumed with another woman? That woman has nothing to do with you. Why do you care so much? If she's not being disrespectful to you, even my exes, I wouldn't call my exes if they had the ones that are with somebody. I have insomnia, so I be up all the time. Some of them I used to talk to later because I would be up. But if they have a woman or it's somebody that my husband didn't know, I wouldn't, because that's disrespectful. It's a time and a place for everything. If we're going to meet and they taking me out for my birthday, I'm not going to dinner, but I might go to lunch with them, something like that. But he knew. It's just certain ways to conduct yourself as a woman with class and integrity. And that's more important to me than being a leftover.
Correct.
I don't get it.
Question. Now, let me come back over here. I had to go get another glass of a wine bottler. Now, I have a question. Now, my question is, if you are in that situation, because I also was in that situation with thing one, thing two.
Oh, okay.
I was in that situation. But now it's not just thing one and thing two. It's the new, the new, new, the new one.
Okay.
So if I have an issue to where sometimes it got to the point to where we communicate all the time, me and the new beau, we are communicating all the time.
Okay.
And to the point to where sometimes we're going to sleep on the phone together.
Okay.
And now I'm starting to look at it like, oh, okay. I'm kind of lost. Is it genuine? But when you know a real woman to be able to tell if it's genuine or not. But then it's like we have this bond like we're buying Clyde. But when I call Cat in the Hat, then the new beau is just like, mm, she don't like it.
Are you calling that regular hours? Are you calling?
Regular hours, afternoon. I know you guys are together. Hey, tell her I said hey. Hey, boo. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, then it shouldn't be no problem. That's here's the thing that I feel like what women even have this problem with their man and their friends, cousins and all of that. You feel out of place because when you're coming in, when you two are together, the
Mhm,
conversation is balanced. But if you go with your partner and they are with their best friend, or, and it could be a woman, it's usually with a woman, they
mhm,
have other things to talk about, but they have a history. And so what you're supposed to be doing is either saying something is funny, joining in on the conversation, but it won't be a conversation that'll be all about you. It's
mhm,
going to be them talking about memories and things like that. And the only way you can learn what those are is for them to have those conversations. But the conversation won't include you the way that you wanted to. And every woman is not secure enough to sit there through that conversation when their partner is talking to another female and they're connecting because you feel left out.
mm. Now that's what I was thinking. Like, do you feel left out?
Mm-hmm.
Now
So
it
it
was
needs
even
to be
the
a
time.
balance.
Yes, and it was even the time where it was like, well, I got her now. That's what brings it back to this topic. Well, I got her now, and honey, I really don't care if you have her or not. Spare me the fucking headache. You can have it. The lies, the deceit, the dishonesty. Like, you can have that. I have a friend who is very dearest to my heart who teaches me, well, one, my friend loves me. I love my friend. I love my friends, period. And my friends teach me day in and day out. My friend teach me that honesty will get you a long way. So
It
lately,
will.
I've definitely been wanting to be, because, you know, I would lie about the craziest things, the stupidest things. Hey, have you ate
Like
yet?
what?
Like, hey, have
For
you ate?
why?
Yeah. Hey, is there something in your house? Like, do you got some food in your house? Yeah. Hey, are you struggling right now? Hey, yeah. I mean, no. Like things like that, because it was more of a trying to be an independent type of person. But my friend
Okay.
taught me to be honest, and I was honest about it. So when it came to that situation with that toxicity with the cat in the hat and her new beau, I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, you got her, baby. I don't want her. I don't need her. She doesn't bring me any type of joy. She doesn't bring me any type of financial stability. She doesn't bring me any of that. You got her. I don't need her. Don't need her at all.
But see, that's a conversation. So I don't know if you've heard me and Hilda talk about that before, but some people date rude. And what I mean by they date rude is that one of my issues and Hilda's dude's issues, Phil, is that their family
Mm-hmm.
is, they don't really, I guess they don't really see each other much. So when they do, they kind of draw to each other and talk a lot about the past things, not catching up. That's the interesting part. So stick a pin right there. You don't catch up. You talk about all
The
the
book
old
to write
things,
some of
all
that
the
stuff
old
down.
stories, all of that. So
Yes.
it would be times where me and Phil would, I'm with Mark and she's with Phil, and we go like to their grandmother's house. And they kind of go and start talking about things, or they're sitting right there talking about things, and me and him is like, now here's where my problem came in, is that the feedback that was given behind my back is that she's on her phone and it's like she doesn't care. Care about what? What exactly am I supposed to say? So you
Sometimes
don't acknowledge you don't
everybody,
acknowledge that you're being fucking rude.
right?
And I'm not complaining, but
Mm,
it's an issue that I'm on my phone. What am I supposed to do? Sit here and Google and got over you? Like, it's not what I'm supposed to do. So what you should do as a person who is dating, if you come around me and my family, I'm introducing you to my family. We're having general conversations. We're not
hello.
um no, we're not being conversation hogs and only talking about things that don't apply to everybody. Number one, that's a communication skill set that's rude. It's rude. Why are
Come
you
on.
doing? What is this other person? Why did you bring the other person if you're not going to acknowledge and include the other person? It's not for the other person to find where they fit in. It's for you to make them comfortable in the space that you just brought them into. And
Come
that's where
on,
I feel like
somebody.
communication is lacking.
Uh, you better come on now.
Because why can't you catch up, right? If you haven't seen each other in all that time, it could be things that would include everybody. Catching up, what's new, the latest concert, new movie, a new TV show. All of
Have
those
you
things are
tried
things
this
that would
new
include everybody.
place?
How you grew up, maybe. Oh, remember we used to skate? Oh, did you and your family used to skate too? We love that. Like, make sure that you include the other person. How are they not supposed to feel left out when they're being left out? Because that's the reality. We got to check ourselves sometimes. So, in some of these things, I get why, especially females, and it depends on if you have abandonment issues and things like that. But I get why some of them say things like, that's my leftovers, or they want something to differentiate your role versus their role because they're not being given a space. I don't care how you treat me behind closed doors if you're not treating me the same way in public. I don't want you to make it all about me, but I do want you to include me. And as adults, we should be able to have conversations that include everyone. And if I can make sure I do it, how can you not make sure that you do it? Or I feel like that's like in your situation, the new beau and Cat and Half should have a conversation. The new beau should be telling
But the
the
new boat,
person how they feel instead of taking it out on you, though.
correct. Now, but the new boat is already stuck in her ways.
No, nobody's stuck in their ways.
And I,
Nobody's stuck because if they
ooh, I
won the lotto
said
today, they'd be unstuck.
thank you. I said that. I said, I told the new beau, I said, maybe she is stuck in her ways. And I'm only saying this by experience. But then again, a person can never be stuck in their ways. Everyone can unstick themselves.
Everybody can unstuck themselves if that's what you
Unstuck
want to do. Now,
themselves.
some things people not going to change because it's it's some things that even through self discovery and learning things about myself, and this is why I post like be true to yourself because I am an introvert, right? But I'm trying to come out in this space where I'm comfortable doing it because it's kind of work and fun. But I've accepted the fact that when I am in a overly crowded social space, um, or even too many people in my own living room, my social anxiety is not going away. So
Right.
I have to accept that and say, I'm not going to be the person that walks in and is talking to everybody and outgoing all the time. There are some times that I'm like, okay, I feel it today. But
Right.
guess what? I'm not changed. That is who I am.
That's who I am.
Right. And so if you love me, then that's something that you have to accept. But it comes with accepting it first and being able to explain it in a way that you're not defensive. Right. So instead of being like, well, that's just the way I am. No, I actually have social anxiety. This is the way I am. But if you talk to me, I will always talk back. I will always speak. But don't expect me to be like you. That's unfair.
Right.
And
Now,
that's where it's a bit different.
I agree on that because I'm not a person. I have social anxiety sometimes, but I kind of express it in a different way. For example, I can't go out. I usually go out with my friends. When I go out with my friends will always tell me I need to wear glasses because I might not say nothing, but my resting bitch face is completely ridiculous. To
It's
where
scary.
sometimes a lot, to where sometimes people will be like, "She look mean," and then
Right, that's what I've been told.
and I'm not mean. It's just
Mm-mm.
like correct yourself when you come at me,
Or
and
don't stare at me
choose
like that.
or don't stare at me like that, or choose your
Yeah.
words wisely. Now,
Yeah.
there's I would even look at something and that'd be my face, and my
Or that's
friends.
like somebody walking up to you and you quiet in the corner and they like, dang, you look mean. And then we be like, yes, that's what you're gonna look like. Because why did you walk up to me and say that? You walked up to me being negative, and my response was negative. If you'd have just walked up like, "Hey,
Don't
how you doing?" I'd have been like, "Oh, hey, how are you?"
Right. Don't get me wrong. It's even when people walk up to me, you too cute to look like that.
See, that's still negative. Why are you
Who
being
said
negative
I
to
look
me?
cute?
But it'd be like what though? Because you just insulted me. Be like what? I'm only being myself. Watch what you say to people. You
It's
people
not
are
what
not
you
taking
think, it's
accountability for what they
what you
saying. You don't even know me to be saying that. That's not nice. You're assuming that I'm being mean and I'm literally just trying to breathe in this space, you know? Like that's not fair.
Thank you. And it's a song. It's a song. The song that's called by Alicia Correa or something. And it's also people have been using it on TikTok. Don't get me wrong. Don't bear with me, y'all. I've been trying to play around on TikTok. So it's a song, and it was a TikTok that they were doing, and it was a person that's just sitting there, and the words were saying, "Because really, I would rather be at home all by myself, not in this room with people who would really care about, who don't really care about my well being." That's me, 25,000 100,000,000% of the time. I am sitting in the place and like this because really, I would rather be at home right now by myself,
My
not in
favorite part of the night is going home.
not in this room. Like if I'm at a show, 100% of the time, my favorite part, two of my favorite parts, dancing for y'all, making
Right,
sure that y'all feel like all of the entertainment.
right.
And my second part is going home, taking a bath, taking a good old
Taking all the makeup off and put my hair back.
pulling them lashes off.
I start in the car.
Wig ain't glued to the head, honey. I am pulling it off. Like, yeah, one of them. But majority of the time, I'd rather be at home. I don't like being out in public because I feel like we stated in an earlier podcast, I feel people think and take my like me being in the entertainment business as in, oh, I like certain ways they come at me.
Yeah.
And I don't. So I'd rather be at home. And then I'd rather eliminate myself out of all of the drama that might cause, oh, I see you talking to, oh, such and such. Well, I had them first. Well, listen, baby, I don't care who you had first, last, in the middle for the last supper, baby girl. You can keep them.
Difference does it make? Like,
It makes
what
no
difference
difference.
does it make? And if you still in love with them, it's nothing that I can do about that. And if we're not married, shoot your shot.
Shoot your damn shot. Like I've
If we're
always
not
told
married and not living together, I think that is boundaries. Excuse me. For me,
you,
it's always been boundaries for if you're living with somebody, you're building a home with them, and I don't break up homes.
I never
If you've
break up
had a child with somebody, and um, if you've had a child with somebody, I'm always a woman first. So if you've had a child with somebody and y'all are not together and you like, oh, we not together, but she got your kid and she's still praying for her family to work because you had a baby by this girl, I feel like is a certain amount of time that you should give a woman. um, because it's just not fair. I don't think that nobody sits well, before I didn't. This don't apply these days, unfortunately, but nobody sits there and have a baby by somebody that they don't want a family with. And if that man don't love that woman enough to say, well, that's somebody I want to have a baby with, then why did you get her pregnant? Because she
Ooh,
still wants a family. And
you better
so
go.
if I could back out of the way, because women are distractions, people are distractions. Let's just make that clear. If you are somebody that, okay, a couple that separates, that
Mm-hmm.
couple that separates, if they separate and really take the time to think about whatever it is that they're going through, work on what their relationship, they will get back together. But if they separate and start dating and doing all these other things, now you have created a distraction. You have created a fairy tale land. You have basically started over that feel good space of when you first date somebody and they like, oh, you this and oh, you that. Yeah, because they don't know you in the other space and y'all haven't been through nothing. So no, they're not complaining. No, they and or having conversations that are serious because that's not where that relationship is. Now you have broken up a home. That's how I feel. So I don't date people that just had a baby by somebody. Because I wouldn't
Because
want
that's
that to
breaking
be
up a home.
me.
At least wait till that baby is 18. Because at the end of the day, they still have to be around to be there for the baby's first steps. Be there for when the baby first starts talking about dad, dad, or mama. That right there, I would never.
If you're
I'm
not comfortable with that kind of stuff, you shouldn't.
yeah,
When me and
not
Mark first
comfortable.
dated, the first time Christian was, I think, 18 months. I think he was 18 months when we dated the first time. And I knew right away that he had Christian and then she had Christian a week. And so already on my calendar, because I'm a real ass woman, even at what was I, 26, I think.
Mhm.
Um, I had Skylar, which is my sister's son. He lived with us, and then Layla and Kiera. Actually, all of them. All of them. And so on the weeks that he had his son, we talked on the phone, not too much. I felt
Mhm.
like it was rude to even like consume that much time. We didn't see each other. I didn't even ask to go on a date, dinner, nothing. Like that just was a week off the calendar for me. It wasn't even a question. I think it might have been might I'm trying to stay honest. I think it might have been one thing that it was like, oh, this thing I want to do, and it lands on this week that you have them. I think it might have been one thing, but other than that, it was on. It was real. It was on the calendar, respecting that space. I never, ever, 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 even as us being married, have to be like going with him to drop the kids back off or
I don't feel
um
like that's necessary,
like being
especially
seen.
because
And I don't
I
do
don't.
none of that, Bambi. I never did none of that. Even today, I don't do none of that. I'm secure. If he on the phone talking with them, I never jumped in a conversation. If he
Never.
step out the room, because sometimes he would be like really mad, so he would have to say some things, and I respected and understood, as in being in a leftover relationship, because we're all leftovers. Um,
Oh,
it's some stuff
I'm
that to me,
leftovers. I'm a
we're all
leftover
leftovers.
some
We're all
macaroni,
leftovers.
college greens, and macaroni.
Now I'm an upgraded leftover, but I am a leftover.
Leftover.
But
I'm
some things
upgraded.
like when they argue or whatever, just think like you ain't in the father of your son, right? It's things that y'all been through that even as Marcus' wife, that is still their, we're all family now, so that's still their relationship, right? So it's going to be some things that probably cut to the bone that they have said to each other, been through with each other. I feel like if they having an argument, they get to that level or a conversation,
It
and
has
and
nothing to do.
if he want to step out the room, I feel like it's okay, because that's not something that I feel like it's respectful. If you're gonna
Exactly.
say something about what y'all been through and it's some cutthroat stuff, I respect that you don't want to say that in front of me. I don't think it's
I wouldn't
nothing
want to
wrong.
hear
Like, oh, I'm your wife, I should know everything. No, some shit,
if you want
that's
to know,
private.
you would tell me out of respect. Hey, babe, this is what I said, and this is the reason why I stepped out the room. Out of
And he
respect.
did, and he would. That's what I'm saying. I don't trip.
Yeah.
But women that do, I don't get it. You don't
Oh,
post to
I feel
know
like
everything.
that ain't nothing but who said that? Let me go back to the comments. Who said that? I Fred Day Me Too.
Oh, mom,
Moms.
what
Oh,
mom say? What she
mom
say?
said
Oh,
insecure.
insecure. It have to be
That is
because as
that
a woman, you know some of the things you
is
say. Like okay, like an example. Okay, what if it was something like she had a yeast infection and it affected the baby when the baby came out, and that's what they got to talk about. How is that your business?
that's none of your business because it ain't your vaginas.
That's
Ain't
that
your
line.
vagina.
That's them. Let them talk. You know what I'm
Baby,
saying?
you
Like,
don't let this
I've
man in
never
your
been insecure,
house.
Bambi. I don't do insecure.
Now
Never,
this is my
never.
this is my question when it comes to women like that. Because
Hmm.
I've checked a woman on some stuff like that. And I was literally sitting there, and this is back in the days where I would just go chill with random, not random. I would say they're random now, but I would go chill with people, and I'll be sitting there, we'll be chilling. Next thing you know, it was always a like, wait a minute, did you just? I'm gonna shut the hell up. I don't know nothing. So I caught someone, and the baby father, let's just say the baby father went in the room with the new baby mother, but the girlfriend, who is also a baby mother of the baby father, sat right there on the side of me. The baby daddy had to go in a room with the new baby mother to talk to her about some very important things.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying no names, so ain't nobody gonna know these folks. The baby mother was going through a situation where it was a sexual transmitted disease. Now, she was like, the baby is going to have it because this is what such and such doctor stated.
Okay.
The girlfriend felt, why you couldn't take me in there. I had to stop her in her tracks and say, let me ask you something. Was you in the bed when they was having sex to have this baby?
Right. That's not
You in the
okay.
bed to have sex with them when they was having this baby? She said no. I said, now ask me another question. Is that your sperm in there to make that baby with that woman? No, it wasn't. All right, so shut your ass up and let your man handle a man's job really quick. And then he'll come out and he'll talk to you about that
Or
because you
not.
or not. I say he'll come out and talk to you about it or not. Because some things do not always have to be your business. If your man
No.
the utmost highest up here, then he will speak to you about things that needs to be spoken about. But if not, baby, you better mind your business, mind the business that pays you, because unfortunately he ain't paying you to mind that business right there. That don't have nothing to do with you. That's not your body. That's not your child. That is your child's brother or no or sister. But that's not your child. So you mind your place and let him take care of his other stuff. You better be, and I told her, I said, you better be lucky that he even being a man, he is even being man enough to step up to the plate to take care of that.
Right.
Because there's
Right.
not.
Right.
Oh, but I
I
got him
agree.
first. But that's what killed me. But I got him. I had him first. Yeah, you right, baby. But she had him next. Unfortunately, you wasn't holding on too tight enough.
And even if you was, what does all of that matter?
And
Here, I think that people are trying to apply. So some of the things that even as a new wife, I was following the Bible. I was, and I'm trying to be a good wife, as you should. But unfortunately, the world has caused buts. When you decide to date somebody who has children or marry somebody with children or that has a past or it is blended or anything like that, you now have to alter the way that you apply those things, have your expectations, so on and so forth. Because, right, you only need to say something if you're going to get the disease. It does not apply to you.
Thank
But
you. Because it's
too
not
many people, it's
this.
not your business. And it's actually telling somebody else's business. And you wouldn't like it if you went and told your business. You
Thank
wouldn't like it.
women do
You know what
not.
I'm saying?
I can't. I'm
People
a
want things that they're not giving. People want to follow. You cannot follow the rules of the Bible to a T the way that they are if again you have entered a relationship with somebody who has a child, somebody who it is blended, somebody who has accepted a child and now they are with you. If they accepted that child, you better not ever say nothing about that child. That ain't your baby. Don't do that.
not your
Don't do
business.
that. You
Unless
better
you got one
alter
of
it.
these, unless you got a ring on your finger, baby, that's
I
not your
wouldn't even do that with a ring on my finger. You don't get to do that. If they accepted that child is theirs.
thank
Blood
you.
or not, that child is
Regardless
theirs. You don't get to
of
do that.
feel it.
If you don't want
Thank
to do it,
you.
don't do it. It's just
Thank
that
you.
simple. But as a wife, I had to change the things that I thought about. And I actually was thinking about it a little different. I had to
I have
I was
somebody that's watching right now and asking how do they comment.
um on YouTube.
They
You just
yeah, I sent them the link. They liked and subscribed right now. They're trying to figure out how they comment. But I'll
okay.
teach
They could comment as soon as
they're not
it should say across the bottom, it should say chat.
okay.
Um but um you have to know it's a fine line between a lot of things. So you have to know when to stay in your lane and when not to stay in your lane, right? And I was under in my lane.
Mm,
So I had to learn
explain that.
that it wasn't the same as like when we was dating. When we was dating, I completely stayed out unless he asked me a direct question. You know, if it wasn't something that pertained to our future,
Mm-hmm.
once we got engaged, I left my opinion out because I felt like that was their business. But I was, I didn't, I wasn't supposed to do that when we got married because then it looked like maybe I didn't care or
Mm-hmm.
something. But I felt like that situation is so cloudy that it doesn't need another person. And if we can't all sit at a table, then it doesn't need to be a us versus them, another opinion, stuff like that. But as a wife, I should have had an opinion. And I didn't. And so I would ask something once, like, oh, do you want me to do this? If it was no response or no answer, I just left it alone. When that, I guess I should have tried, like, inserted myself more, but I felt like I was being respectful. But again, I didn't know how to be no wife. I never been no wife before, and especially not to
There is no
somebody with
manual.
children. Like,
There's no
you know,
manual. And I've said that before.
yeah,
When there is no manual on life. There is
right,
a manual or an instruction guide on how to
right,
be a wife, a baby mother, a boyfriend, or a girlfriend. There's no
right.
manual on how to be anything in life. You have to know the right and the wrong. You have to know
You have
which
to communicate.
come on now.
Because that's the part I feel like isn't fair. Everything that happened for me at the beginning, it was all like I was supposed to know this and I was supposed to do that and I'm supposed to do this and I'm supposed but my thing was if and it wasn't even from him, it was from family members. And my thing would be if they don't have it rock solid and they the fucking parents, why is so much pressure on me? How am I supposed to have a whole book that's laminated and a damn guide? I got a master's degree in business, not family marriage. Like, why is there so much pressure on me? Instead of just, even if that's how you feel, why don't you just say something or ask me or we have a conversation about it? But that is, people want you to be a leftovers when it's time to be leftovers, and they want you to be a main course when they want you to be a main course. But you don't get to flip flop somebody like that and expect them to know what you're thinking and how to behave if you don't say it. That's not fair.
Mm.
That's not fair at all. And we all so much of leftovers that when you
Ooh.
with this person, you was this type of person. When you with this person, you learn these skill sets and conform to what the other person wanted. Then you with this person and you do something different. I can't, that term, teach people how to treat you, that really goes for relationships and marriage. I can't, I don't know how you want me to act. You don't know how I want you to act until it come up and then we talk about it. And then, that's usually, you don't talk about everything before you get married or before you have a baby with somebody. You talk about the most things, but then as things come up, you like, okay, we need to talk about this because now that I'm in this situation, I don't like the way this feel, but I do like the way this feel. You have to talk. How else are
Come,
you supposed to know?
come on now.
We don't read minds, but it's always somebody is generally the fall person that
Yeah.
that everything get put on. But is that really fair when you could just talk? Because I
Ooh.
don't care what the leftovers did. I don't care what your last girlfriend did because if they was all of that, then how did you get to me? It's not fair. It's not fair. That leftovers thing runs deep. Because if I've heard that once, oh well, such and such did this and such did that. And such was also a narcissistic nutcase. So
Ooh,
don't
come
leave that part out. Don't leave that part out. Like, Jesus. I can't. I can't. I like I thought the leftovers was supposed to teach you a lesson. But here's the thing, they still can only teach you a lesson in that relationship. That still might not apply to the next one because what if that what if that lesson is something that's complete opposite of what the person wants? Like I'm very black and white. I'm very,
on.
you could tell me what you need to tell me. I think
Baby.
about logic before I think about feelings because if I allow my feelings to go first, girl, I'll be like Bernadette on Waiting to Excel, Carrie,
Come on
uh the
now.
Terminator. Like
Come
that's the real
on.
agent. That's the real agent. And no type of I'm sorry. I don't, no type of I'm sorry. I don't have no sense. It's just, oh my God. So yes, I have to be the type of person that's like, well, logically, let's think about this. What would the normal, typical person do? Like, and try to work it out like that.
Normal,
Or ask.
typical person like me do.
Yeah, yeah. But too many people have feelings, and it's feelings based on how they feel that day. They don't even let it marinate for a minute and
Not at
think
all.
about it or talk to the person that it actually includes.
Not.
You can't, I can't go talk to seven about how to treat you. I have to talk to you about how to treat you because even if I ask seven, if
I
me
need
and
a
you have a,
refill, mama. You see that? I need a refill. It was getting good. I need a refill.
well, you get a refill. I need a peppermint. You guys give me just 1 second. I'm running out of breath. I need a peppermint. I'll be right back, but I can still hear you.
And I
But
still
yes,
hear everything.
okay, perfect. So yeah,
Okay, so
you still can't be, holding on to, well, this person liked it or that person said I was amazing. All my exes say I'm amazing and I'm the most amazing person ever. I got one ring though. None of that don't matter. And I don't hold my husband to what they like. I didn't tell him, well, all of them think I'm amazing. So how do you think this? I don't, that doesn't even matter. People need to, maybe ego. I wonder if that's what, I wonder, I wonder if, hmm, when people think about, you got my leftovers, got my leftovers. What exactly are they trying to say? You got my leftovers. Shouldn't they be saying, shouldn't they be saying, girl, that's your headache now? But they
Hello.
can't even say that because girl, I know I'm a headache. I give myself a damn headache. I got my excessive migraine right here. Um,
Every day I give myself a headache. I'm a
in real life.
I am more than just a headache. I am a headache. I am a migraine. I am a one of them ass cramps you get, or one of them
I
days.
agree, Brianna. I think I'm still trying to figure out where the thought process is behind that because I'm not sure if you were, thank you for joining too. I'm not sure if you were here at the very beginning, but what I started with is technically we all leftovers. So like what's the flex in saying you got my leftovers? Why do you have to tell the new girl you got my leftovers? We don't hear men saying, oh no, they do be like already smashed.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Dudes do say already smashed.
Yes, dudes always saying that. I think it's dumb to even say.
Oh, Brianna said, just say you got what I wanted to keep. That's what we was asking earlier. So she thinks that too, that they still want the person.
I believe that's my
But
bag.
showing your insecure hand or your weak hand, that's not gonna make the person come back or saying you got my leftovers. All that's gonna do here, okay, this is what I was thinking too. You know how some people their relation notice that some relationships, even with friends, if they could talk about, if me and you could talk about seven, our relationship will stay strong because we're always talking about seven. We
And it's nothing
our
but
our problems is
positive.
going under the rug. We gossiping, you pillow talking, you doing all of that. Same
Right.
thing with a man and a woman. When that gossip is going in, oh babe, I would never do that. And all of this other stuff, it keeps that relationship going. Step your ass out of it and leave them to themselves and see what happens. It's
Ooh,
going to fall apart every time because they don't have you. You know, even building up to it. Oh, when she find out, she gonna do this and she gonna do that. And then when you find out and you don't do this and that, now they arguing, they falling apart because now they're not talking about you all the time.
we're
Okay.
talking about someone else. Somebody else is a part of the topic.
Yeah, themselves.
Oh, come
Because you
on.
didn't give them nothing to go on. So similar to, leaving a person alone that's on a break and allowing them to mend that relationship, work on that relationship versus giving them that amusement park and that
Mhm.
fantasy. And so they're not focused on what they need to. Thus, it's easy for them to not be as serious about their relationship or focus on what they need to
Hello. Come on.
because they got those lies that
Know somebody.
you are such an amazing man. You are such a good dad. Oh, my king. He is such a king. Says who?
When the hell they say that?
How?
How
How?
is he a king?
Because just so you know, for my African American people, Bueller, 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 just so you
Ooh.
know, you cannot be a king in Africa without a queen.
Ooh.
Just say that.
I just wanted to bless
People
bless
have lost thrones. It has left their family because that man did not get married fast enough. And you cannot be a king without a queen. I didn't say girlfriend, baby mama, none of that. I said a queen. That is a right. That is paperwork. That is
none of that either.
just saying. That's a nice little prince. It's a nice little prince.
That's a
Call him a prince.
nice little
And that's
prince.
until you turn, certain ages. But yeah, that's why more people is married in Africa too, because to have a family and all of those things, you're supposed to be married and build a home.
Hmm.
That's not being a leftover. Ironically, though, that man is still a leftover because he was a little slut puppy still. He not supposed to do nothing,
He
but it's
had
less frowned upon as if
multiples.
it was a girl.
He had
Hmm.
multiples as well.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is
For real.
crazy.
All that leftover stuff. I'm with Brianna. Just say that you still want him, or like Bambi said earlier, is I was fine until I saw that you really looked like this. Um,
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. I'm going to take over this one. A lot of women are playing wives with no rings. Let me explain.
Euler, Euler,
Euler,
Euler.
Euler. Ha! Let me explain
Or the
this.
ring is sitting on somebody else's hand. I'm just
Hello.
saying.
Let me explain this. I've witnessed. You gotta watch. You gotta watch people you are hanging out and hanging around with. Don't get me wrong. I know if they say you have dated someone, which is true, if you dated someone for 5 years, 5 to 6 years plus, you guys are legally married, regardless if it's a ring on your finger. You guys are
There's no
legally.
more common law. Common law is in 7 states exactly, and we are not in any of them. I don't know. Nevada might be. California's not.
So you guys are common law married. Now, ladies, I don't give a damn if you sitting around here and this man done said, I'm gonna be your. For example, let's use beautiful ass Nia Long, for example. That woman has
Bueller,
you
Bueller.
are. This woman has had a ring on her finger for years and just now found out that her man, not in California, yes, baby, not in California. This lady has had a ring on her finger for years, being a fiance for years, had this man children for some years now because that child is older.
11, right?
Yeah, 11 years. So, which means this woman has had to deal with this for years, but turn around and I don't give a damn if you give me a ring. I feel like if you're going to get on that one knee and propose to me and tell me all of these things that you want me to be your wife, you want me to be the rib, your backbone, then I need you to put action behind that ring.
Right.
Of course, no action is enough by you fuck that. It's not enough by you getting on your damn knee, giving me
Right.
this and proposing to me. I need you to put a lot more action, a lot more thought, a lot more hope, a lot more faith, a lot more love behind you getting on this one knee to propose to me.
Right.
Because this woman, beautiful, beautiful, ain't aged a bit. Sat there and
Mhm.
that ring lost its purpose. That ring went from an engagement ring to a promise ring. You basically promised me to stay around. You basically put this ring on my finger, making me think in the back of my head I am someone's fiance or soon to be wife. I was your soon to be fool. I was your soon to be fool. Ladies, if you still sitting out here and you accepted promise rings, that's what I'll call them. You still sitting up here allowing your baby daddy or your boyfriend from the hood that still want to gang bang, or your little girlfriend who's still talking to Keisha, Nisha, and Pookie from the block to give you a ring and get on their knees. If they ain't got no actions to put behind that promise ring they finna give you that you think is an engagement ring, baby, you better get your worth together. Because I would refuse to get on my knee or allow somebody to get on their knee to think they about to give me a promise ring. I'm not a promise ring type of female. Not at
If
all.
I think that if if it's gonna be a promise ring, let it be a promise ring. If the day that I got proposed to,
Mm.
um, after
Did,
the shock, I could
did
have
you
got married that day.
did you cry?
The real day that I got engaged.
Yes, the real day you got engaged.
Mm-mm.
The
I
day
was in
he
shock.
proposed.
I was trying to. I knew it was coming, and I was trying to go to sleep.
No, Not I was trying to go to sleep.
I know he was not. I was sleepy like that. Like I was trying to go to sleep before he did it because I knew he was going to do it. And I'm one of those people. I'm very, very shy. And so, not that I didn't. What I don't know. I was just like, I think he keeps looking at me weird. And then we came home from him performing, and he said he was sitting right here. He said on the end of the bed, he was like, "Come here," and I was like, we really should go to bed. And he was like,
I'm sleepy. You ain't sleepy?
you should come here. I was like, I'm so sleepy. And then he asked me to put the ring on. But the day that we took our engagement photos is the day that he got on one knee and did the whole proposal thing. And I knew he was gonna do it that day too. And I was like, please don't do it today. I kept up, please don't do it today. And he did. And I'm like, because you were taking our engagement photo pictures or photos or whatever. And so no, I didn't cry. At first, I was like in shock. And I was like this. My mom was there, everybody was there. And then I got the first ring. And then I turned around and there was a second ring, and then I cried. I was like,
this is for real. Like,
right.
serious.
Right. Yes, I cried then. But no, I didn't cry at first. Because it was like marrying my best friend. I was like, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't like head over heels, romantic, like, because Mark, he did romantic things all the time. So it would have probably had to be like a plane or something for me to be like the second ring. Like that was really thoughtful. He's always been really, really, really thoughtful in a lot of the things that he did. So the shock, I appreciate everything. It would make my heart smile, but to cry, it didn't make me cry. But then when I turned around and there was an additional ring, I was like, I think it was an additional 3 that day. I have a total of 12. I think it was, I got one every month. Every month I got a ring.
Did you read Mom's?
You right, Mom. That she not saying it to me. She said it with the ring thing. That's funny. I told you. Yes, if you are one of those people that you just want a ring, when you get engaged, you're supposed to be okay with marrying that day. Because like I keep saying in Africa, because traditionally the way that we did things, when somebody gets proposed to, right away it's okay, I'm bringing my family, and they do the thing with the elders and all of that. They move very fast. They don't sit there a long time. But I feel like we sit there a long time now because we are somebody's leftovers.
Right.
You feel me? They're not sleeping together. When they get engaged, they hug each other. They don't kiss. They hug, and it's almost like an embarrassment to hug. You don't do any of these things until you get married, because your bride price is also based on you not being touched, So it's very different. The value is there. The want is there. The prize is there. Now I feel like you could be engaged forever. Why? Because why? They had a baby already. You live in a house together already. You bought property together already. You going on family vacations already. You are already a family. So what's the rush? So if I feel like, then if there's no rush, go to the courthouse. Because you still should be married. You should want to. I need my papers. Are you okay? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I was like, oh, God, is she okay? Yes, I want my papers because, there's a lot of people around me that have been passing away lately, but one particular situation, the girl is not getting to do what she wants to do for the girl is not getting to do what she wants to do for her man, although they was together almost a decade, because Exactly. Playing wife already, and playing don't get you nothing but played, because
Ooh.
these people, they know what they wanted to do or whatever, and what's happening is total opposite of
And the
what that
crazy,
person, and it's nothing you can do because you are not the legal spouse, and the
that
family's not acknowledging,
you took
so
the
the
words right out
family's
my
doing what they want to do.
spouse. You took the words out of my mouth because I was going to say, but they're not the legal spouse. And the crazy thing is, I've even stated multiple times that people are sitting out here playing the side chick and the leftover. While y'all are doing that, have y'all ever thought about all of this shit you're doing with the side piece, sneaky link, side boo, side nigga, side female, and all this other stuff? What do you have to save for your marriage? I'm just saying, I mean,
Yoler,
if you out here doing this with
yoler,
somebody that you're not going
yoler.
to be married, I'm just saying, if you out here, don't get me wrong, YOLO, you only live once. But then again, what do you have to
But
save
that's just it. You only live once. So don't you want to save something for,
for
don't
your
you want to
marriage?
save something? No, I was not a virgin when I got married, but there is a laundry list of things that I say specifically for marriage. And that's one of the things that he loved about me, is that I still thought about the wife I wanted to be one day. Even when I at one point decided I'm not getting married, I don't want to be married. Before we got back together, I was like, I don't want to be a girlfriend. I don't want to be married. We could just be friends. But I still wasn't doing that list of things because I'm like, any event that I do, I still want to have this for my marriage. And that was just what I wanted. But no, yeah,
Don't
it should be something for you too. It's not, it's for, don't you want some experiences to be with your
your
partner? Like,
partner, your
oh,
lifelong partner. Because don't get me wrong, I've done a lot to where my friends can be like, "Have you done this before?" Yep. Have you done this before? Yep. 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 Damn, girl. Yep. Mm-hmm. I done all that. So you ain't save shit. Yes, I'm going to save it, and regardless, and let me not make the people who have done a lot of things with other people before their spouse or their, their lifelong partner feel bad. If
you
you
don't
done,
feel bad. It was your choice.
it was your choice. Correct. That's one. One, correct. It was your toy. It was your choice. Two, make the things that you done before better. Do something different to make them feel like this was your first time. Even I know I'm not crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know it's people that done had their very, in my Betty Wright voice, very first time. And you do it again and you be like, damn, this feel like my very first time. And we go easy right on by it. Yes, we do. I'm pretty
I was a virgin when I married Mark.
now,
I
Lord.
was. I
Now,
was a
Lord.
virgin on my wedding night.
And that was your very first time.
That was my very first time making love.
And you easy right on by him. Yes, you did. Yes, ma'am.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Uh-huh.
But yes, people do. I think that people do need to start saving some things. I think that people need to stop playing house, because at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day and throughout the day, we are still living a real life. And too many people are living YOLO, as if the things that you do, they have consequences. And at the very core of some of these decisions, like if somebody passes away, that shit is going to hurt like a knife. When you have been with somebody, let's just say 11 years, and then a family comes in and says, no, I don't want to do that. And they totally disrespect what you want and don't consider you at all. That's insane. But you've been living with the person. They might not have even been talking as family, but they literally can come in and the money, the everything is theirs. And it's nothing that you can do.
Stop, babe.
That hurts.
She said if I knew I would, I was gonna have a pussy I got, I wouldn't have ever had sex until marriage. Baby, listen,
Listen, I'm telling you.
Shabbat.
And, but what I will also say is that even with leftovers, that agape love is different. When you marry somebody that you really love, it is not the same. Married sex is not the same as um
Sex. Regular sex is
sorry,
not the same as married sex because
sorry,
when
but
you
it's not.
marry, your forever life partner is going to love every insecurity you have on your body. There
That
are
you're not gonna notice your insecurities, but you're gonna feel different. And when you're gonna be it's different. It's
For
different.
example, I'm gonna say this now, and it might be crazy because it could be like, oh, I'm saving this for my partner. But I'm gonna say this just for anybody because anybody and everyone who's around me should know this, or I will tell them. I hate my elbows touched.
Mm,
It's a phobia.
okay.
I hate them touched. Even when I'm lotioning up, I would do a quick one of those.
Okay.
It's a huge phobia. I know people who don't like touching doorknobs. And
That's the other thing.
it's not because they're a lady and they feel like a man should open it for them. No. People have big phobias. I
Right.
have two phobias. My elbows, I don't like them touched. My knees, I don't like them touched. Now, if I get with my partner and they get to touch down my elbow, I might just let them. I might let them with no problem. I might be shaking in my boots like, oh my God, they touching past my elbows and I don't like it. They touching my knees. I don't like it. But I'm saving that for my partner, the person who's going to love, honor, obey, respect, become loyal, not even become, be loyal to me. Like, but in this whole stating, like, I most definitely feel like I don't want to be someone's leftovers forever. Of course, I'm going to be a leftover, but I know for sure as a woman who knows or who is learning her worth, I don't want to be no one's leftovers forever.
I love leftovers. Leftovers is not a bad thing.
Shirley,
We
yeah, if
wouldn't,
you had some leftover enchiladas, girl, they good.
and that's what I was talking about that before we got on. I'll wrap up with this. Everybody is going to be a leftover because we all are going to date. Leftover doesn't just mean sex. Leftover, you're going to be a leftover because you're dating. But we should all be dating with intention. From every relationship, you should get something and not a lesson. People need to quit being dog ass people. You
Mm,
can not be together because you're just not compatible or whatever, but you
real.
should still respect the person. Stop being liars, stop being cheaters, stop being insecure, stop being controlling, stop being putting your hands on people.
Stop
All of
the
those things, that's not necessary. If you feel like that person even brings out those qualities in you,
then you
that's
don't.
somebody you go ahead and walk away from because that's making you reduce and not be your best self. So why don't you go ahead and let that go because you're the one that ultimately got to pay for what you doing in this relationship. How about that? Let's go ahead and own that. That's number one. Number two is that you're going to learn about yourself with each person because each person, think about all your friends. Each one of your friends brings out something that makes you stronger, that makes you better. That's ultimately what we should be pulling out of courting and dating is that each person pulls out something in you or gives you the courage to be something or shows you something that you didn't even know was in you. That's what should happen. And it should not only be around sex should be the last thing. You should not be sleeping with everybody that you date. You just shouldn't. If that's something that you want to do, knock yourself out. But I need people to start thinking into the future because people are making all these decisions for today, right now, because you hot and bothered right now. And 10 minutes later, you already regretting it. You can't even make it to a whole damn month. So if
Like
you keep regretting everything,
ladies,
you
you
need
better
some self-reflection.
yourself.
Yeah, you need some self-reflection because how do you regret everything? You regret every partner, everyone wasn't nothing, everything ended like horribly. then it can't be everybody else. And what I mean, I don't mean that they didn't do those things. I mean, you keep staying around and letting them do all of these things or getting it to that point. You haven't learned each time when to point out things and when to walk away, or that you doing too much and stop trying to be a wife, start or a husband, because there are men that do it too. They meet you and right away they want to go on vacations and take you to their mama and all that other stuff. People need to slow down and see what you can learn about yourself in a relationship, and how what you learn about yourself applies to that relationship and is good enough for that relationship to move forward. That's what a relationship should be. So you learn about yourself in a relationship environment as a partner, as a team, and then what you then bring to that relationship. But that's my last advice on this particular topic. We're all going to be leftovers. What type of leftovers would you like to be? I like to be Grey Poupon.
You like to be what?
I like to be Grey Poupon.
Yes, Lord.
Say that on the next show. She was dying.
Yes, Lord. It's been.
I did it. She said I wasn't gonna do it either. She like, your shy ass ain't gonna do it. I was like, I'm gonna do it. Little Grey Poupon. I know regular ass mustard. Now, what do I really eat? Regular ass mustard.
Don't eat mustard at all.
I don't even like Grey Poupon. I don't even like the shit. But yes, that is my advice. And that's what I think dating is supposed to be for. So you can learn things about yourself and how they apply to the team that's coming together. And what's your advice?
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Well, wasn't today something quite of the books? I'll say today was amazing. Most definitely. I always learn something from every podcast that we do. It is most definitely like, how can I say it? Okay. I can most definitely say that it was always a teachable moment. Always. And today was something just for women, men, anyone, just to know that certain things that you are going through, honey, this right here, you have to start taking that to heat. Like, people have to stop being so naive. People have to
pretending to be naive.
Pretending. Yes, I say pretending. They have to stop pretending to be naive about what they are actually living in. Like, they're living the life of leftover.
The bad kind of leftovers, not the Grey Poupon.
Leftovers, though. I'm talking about the ones that need to be thrown away. Okay.
Like they should have never been on your plate to begin with.
Yeah, like that. I don't know none of that. I'm a fat ass, so I don't know. I
don't allow anything on my plate that I wouldn't be okay with taking home the next day too.
Yeah. So I'll take me some potato salad, some macaroni and cheese, some collard greens, some bread. I'll take all of that. But I don't know about, I ain't putting shit on my plate that I ain't gonna eat. I mean, I might keep the beans over there because I ain't got time for the gas. But so we'll just say some beans. We'll just say some beans for right now.
Okay. So that's your advice. Don't put nothing on your plate that you're not willing to eat.
That you're not willing to eat. That's my advice for the end of this podcast, guys, because it was one for the books. Always.
Okay, so thank you everybody for joining. Please make sure to share, and you can also comment. Congratulations to me for reaching 3K, and I am going to celebrate. I can't wait. As soon as I feel better, I will be celebrating. Hopefully with all of the past guests that I can get into one space. So that's my plan. So that is it. Thank you for all who have subscribed. Make sure that you share, continue to watch the videos, and watch the ads too. Let the ads play. I need the ads to play. Thank you. So that is it. Have an amazing night. And that is it, Crown Royals. Have an amazing night.